So we're pretty much going downhill on this scooter with no speed, no brakes. When you don't have the throttle on, the governor doesn't really kick in. I almost hit that car. These brakes aren't really good. I have to like yank and crank them to make them work. Anyway, we're heading down Mass Avenue, Embassy Row, passing the Vice President's house. I think there's, oh, we got a brake again. I think there's some electric bikes down here. We're probably going to get rid of this scooter, mainly because it doesn't have any brakes. Let's find a bike. I think I'm going up this side street. See what's up here. What are those, hydrangeas or something? Those flowers are everywhere right now. God, there's some really nice houses back here. Diplomatic license plates in the driveway. What's this? Ecuador. Embassy of Ecuador. This one looks like it's being remodeled. These look pretty modern, actually. No outlet. Okay, well, we won't go that way. So up there, that's the Irish ambassador's house. The Irish ambassador. And then this is the Miramar Embassy of Miramar. This used to be, what's his name? Herbert Hoover's house. Herbert Hoover used to live there before he was president. And then this, hang on a second. God, I'm going to do this brake situation. So this mansion is Jeff Bezos' house, the founder of Amazon. Lives in these two houses. This is his Washington house. He's got another house in Seattle. This is Woodrow Wilson's house. Wilson lived here, I believe, after he was president. I'm going to have to, this is tough. So we're down in the East Village of Georgetown. This is east of Wisconsin Avenue. It's a pretty nice area. And down in these lower streets, down closer to M, you have some bigger houses that had some pretty famous residents. Let's go take a look at one up here that had a couple famous, actually 3 famous residents, all lived in the same property, but at different times. So, right over here, this White House. So right there, guys, 3018 Dumbarton Street. That was the home of Henry Kissinger, Secretary of State and National Security Advisor, I believe. It was then also, after Henry Kissinger, it was the home of Cyrus Vance, who was Jimmy Carter's Secretary of State. It also was the home of Felix Frankfurter, who was a Supreme Court nominee, I believe. So Henry Kissinger lived down there on Dumbarton Street, as did Cyrus Vance, kind of keeping it in the diplomatic family. John Kerry, who was the Secretary of State under Obama, he lived on the other side of Wisconsin Avenue. We're going to say, I think he still actually lives there. Now let's go down here a block and catch up with 2 other famous Washingtonians who lived on N Street. Now this house over here, 3014 N Street, this is where Ben Bradley lived, the publisher of the Washington Post during the time of the Watergate, Pentagon Papers, and all that fame. Now across the street from him, 3017, which I believe is that White House, that was the house purchased by Jacqueline Kennedy after her husband had passed away. It was this house right here, 3017, this big one. So Jackie Kennedy bought this house, but then when the press discovered her, basically, she decided to leave. So she only stayed there, maybe a year or so, and that was right after JFK had died. JFK and Jackie Kennedy, before they were president, lived down this street about 3 blocks. And then after he was president, that was the place she took as a young widow. There we go, guys. Down to the Potomac, where it's a beautiful day to be out on the water. And we are on a bike, which is much calmer than the scooters. It's We sit here at the edge of the Washington Harbor complex. Luxury offices, shops, and condominiums. Oh, did I mention? I don't think I have. Nancy Pelosi lives here. So Nancy Pelosi and her husband are listed as having a condominium in this building. Not exactly sure where, but this is where she lives. And this is the view that greets her every day. I think her place is rated at like $2 million, $2.5 million, something like that. So yeah, this is Nancy Pelosi's neighborhood. She of course has houses back in California as well. So let's get over to the mall. Oh, it's a nice day. It's not as nice as yesterday. It's actually a little warmer. I think it could be hot if you wanted to, if you were easily annoyed by heat. It's in the 80s. The skies are blue. Humidity isn't that bad yet. This weekend's supposed to be much hotter, much more humid. So we'll take it what we can. The last couple days were just like out of a postcard, like perfect weather. I'm going as fast as that water taxi out there. Coming up to the cobblestones here, never a joy. Yeah, there you can see the Washington Harbor from a distance. It's just so pretty out. We're gonna make our way up to the Lincoln Memorial. We'll ditch the bike. I think we'll ditch the bike down on the mall today. A little bit closer to where the helicopters are gonna come in. They're gonna be landing on the Ellipse today. Not sure how many more of these Ellipse landings we're gonna have before they move back to the South Lawn. The South Lawn has been resodded, but I would think they probably want to give it a little bit of time for the sod to take root so that big heaping pieces of sod don't go flying up into the helicopter blades due to the thrust of the helicopter engine rotors. A bit of a crowd today at the Lincoln Memorial. A bit more than normal. It was a Friday. I'm sure some people came into town for the weekend. These guys all selling bottles of water, technically illegal. Guess the cops haven't decided to crack down on them yet. But that'll come soon enough. All right, let's get down this way.
Washington Tower, good afternoon. Nighthawks 1, flight of 3, Anacostia, request route 1, PC6 Alpha.
Tac 1, flight Washington Tower, watch altimeter 3001, approved, traffic 3 mile final, CRJ 9, descending out for runway 19.
3001 for 91 flight.
Coming from behind the left, there it is. It's the second one with flags, not the first one. There he is. That's him. That is him.
Washington Tower, Marine 1, 3 minutes to lift.
Marine 1, Washington Tower, copy.
Washington Tower, Marine 1 with you, proceed as briefed.
Marine 1, Washington Tower, Washington altimeter 29er, proceed as briefed.
Triple 9, Marine 1.
It's a gaggle of segways. A gaggle? A posse? A herd? What do you call a group of segways? I don't know. A motorcycle gang of nerds. I didn't know Mercedes made convertible Sprinters. I guess they do. So out on the Ellipse, we've had one change over here on the south lawn. The fence, the construction fence has actually come down on a small portion of the south lawn. Not the whole thing.
Yes.
But just a little bit has been removed. Pretty soon this big ugly fence should be removed. And then we'll actually be able to see the White House again without straining our necks. All right, we safely made it. Barely. Oh, getting a little cloudy. He's down here playing music again. So we're probably gonna have to blurt out the audio for a bit. This tent looks a little smaller than normal today. Interesting. We got a lot of police activity up here at the Vice President's house. Metro DC police, not like Secret Service. Whoa, we have a ton of cops up here. A bit odd. Maybe they had a motorcade. Oh, maybe it's for the soccer game. Let's go, maybe it's at the embassy. Excuse me.
Sorry.
Or is it a protest? Must be a protest. It does look like a protest. So they're not here for the soccer game. course, there's nobody at the embassy right now. Just some random protest. I thought they were here for the soccer game. So I saw a bunch of people in colorful hats and uniforms and all that. I thought it was for the soccer game. No, it's some sort of protest. I'm not really sure why. They're protesting at the British Embassy, where there's actually nobody there right now. The embassy's basically closed, and even if it wasn't closed, they're all out watching England-Scotland. Bad timing on their part.